Welcome to Effervescent, where we embrace a full circle approach to health. Okay, so we're going to start out with the 3 breaths, and then we're going to get right into the topic of the day. So if you'd like to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If not, keep them open and just take a normal breath. And then let it go. Now drop the shoulders down and take another deep breath. And focus on letting it go. Now for this last and third breath, soften the body before you breathe in. And then take a full deep breath in. And then as you let it go, as you exhale, soften the body completely, letting the face relax. So good. And then find your normal breath and let's get started. So I just went outside to ground before we took this episode, or started this episode, and I came in and Mom's like, we got to get started so Kinley doesn't go ground again. I thought it was so funny. So the topic of the day today is we're going to talk about myths about meditation, lies about meditation. And we're going to talk about the lies and things that people say all the time to me about why they can't meditate. And then we're going to talk about all the different types of meditation that you can try. And a lot of them you probably have never heard of.
Love it.
So I want to start out first with like my story and how I got into meditation. And I'm going to disclaimer this whole episode with I am not, like, when people think of yogis, they think they do yoga every day and meditate every day. It's not true. I'm going to debunk that right now. It's a goal, but like, I am not like oming all day, every day at home. It takes effort, just like going to the gym or having anything that takes care of ourselves. Like, you have to intentionally put effort into doing it. And so, yeah, as we talk through these meditations, I just want you to know that. So I got into meditation back when I started yoga therapy. And in the yoga therapy class, I had only ever done one yoga class before, and it was in junior high. And this yoga teacher came in and taught it for PE, and I farted during Shavasana. And I just like,
The worst at school age. I mean, it's always bad.
Oh, you know Sierra and I couldn't stop laughing after that. And I just didn't get the point. I was like, this is whack. Well, fast forward to me being in therapy, and now I'm in therapy yoga, and that was my only experience with meditation. I was like, okay, let's try this, you know? And so the teacher would like do short meditations. She was great. She knew we were beginners, and she would do like short little visualizations or start with breath and noticing your breath, but I just like couldn't grasp it. And I remember being like, her voice is annoying me, I'm just ignoring it, like, or I'd get lost in the meditation, be like, wait, what am I supposed to be seeing? Like, I just don't get it. And so I would just lay there and be like, when's it over? When's it gonna be over? And then I practiced and practiced and practiced in this class, and my body started to like relax more as she was talking, and I started to like get excited when it was meditation time. Not because I ever saw any color or anything magical, but I was like, this is like relax time. And my body enjoyed it. And then I started like doing those meditations, but I would always fall asleep every time she would teach. Yeah, that's normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys fallen asleep during a meditation?
Oh,
yeah.
Your meditations.
It's okay. And people get so worried about falling asleep, and I used to get so worried, like, oh my gosh, I missed the whole point. I fell asleep. But like, I want to just say there's nothing more. There's no other thing you could say that's a bigger compliment than I fell asleep as a teacher. Because it's like, you relaxed. That's the whole point, is your brain relaxed, your body softened, your nervous system calmed down, and you fell asleep. When's the last time you were able to like sleep so soundly, even if it was for 5 minutes? So I used to fall asleep all the time. And after lots of practice and lots of teacher trainings, I then started to like see more or understand what the teacher was saying. And like, I could put the body to sleep, but my mind could stay focused. And yeah, so I wanted to start out with that because I'm like, people think that like yogis are like so zen all the time, but like, we're not. We started just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a question for you guys. Let me think of how I want to say this. What are the things that stop you from meditating? Well, first, do you meditate?
Mm.
Do you think you meditate?
I mean, I feel like I've kind of had my own journey just like you. I remember when I was young, probably when I was a young mom, my mom was really into yoga and she would invite me and she would do yoga on the beaches of Lake Powell and she'd invite me to do it. And I'd be like, okay, like I'll do it because I love my mom, but this is weird. And like, why are we doing this at Lake Powell? Let's go water skiing, but I remember seeing how calm and happy it made her. And I remember her talking about the first time she could do a headstand. And now that's actually really a soft spot in my heart because the retreat I just went to with you, I was able to do my first headstand and I just cried. It was the end of the retreat, and after we'd had all these amazing experiences, and I told myself over and over and over, I'm not that person. I love when I see people do it. That's not me. I'll never be able to do that. And I don't know why I had such a block, but um Kinley stood there and held and supported me as I was able to do that. And I would say that my journey with meditation has been long and I have a long ways to go, but through step by step and different things that I've experienced, I've been able to learn. I'm still learning.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your question?
Do you meditate?
So I do. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
I love it. I mean, that
took
moment.
ADHD medicine today.
That moment though was so special.
Yeah, sorry,
So
my mom, and then like I did a headstand, and like that's all that matters.
It's okay. It's okay. But you were around your mom who was meditating all the time.
Yeah.
How was that as a kid? Because like you didn't get it.
No, I'm a fast fire person more. So it's like I was dancing and running and playing in the trees and whatever, but no, I was not meditating, and I was like proud of her. I saw her energy change. I saw her body change. I saw her joy level change because when she was doing it, so I connected that there was something special about it, but I didn't understand it until I remember I tried to go once when I had a bunch of little kids, and I remember feeling like a football player, like trying to I'm talking about yoga in general, but then to try to sit there, I just felt so awkward. And the first time I really, really tried is when you started teaching. And I mean, we laugh about this all the time. I don't know if I've shared it here or not, but you handed me the tea light to hold while we did the meditation. And by the time it was over, I had picked it all apart to the point that all the wax was gone and the metal was bent in little pieces. And like I went and handed it to you at the end of the meditation, and you just laughed and you said, "Good job, Mom." And like literally that's where I started. So it's not easy for me. I understand that people that say I don't meditate, I can't meditate, I can't. And I'm like, I get that. But you can. It just takes work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have so many ways I could answer. One of the ways I know you're going to find funny because, I should turn this up a little. It's funny because it's almost the topic of this episode. So there's two things that I'll answer. One, I don't meditate often in what people believe is meditation. Two,
Meaning what?
Meaning like sitting there quiet with nothing going on. I have found that walking and writing is a meditation to me, and it can be if I'm treating it as a sacred practice, which I do, especially in the mornings before I check my phone. I'll do this thing called morning pages, and it's just literally a train of thought. You're just writing literally whatever comes to your mind, and that is a meditation because I almost view it as like a brain dump and a cleanse, and I think it's helped me so much. And I firmly believe that has started to be more of like a meditation practice to me. Again, what I will say, the second side of this is this area of life for me is what I feel like a lot of people say to me when they say like, I know I need to go to the gym, but I don't, and it's hard. But I know in my heart and my soul, like my body's craving like going to the gym and being stronger. Like I have this feeling that's like, oh, that's a really big missing piece is meditation. And yet it's almost like I'm a newbie at the gym. Like it's hard for me to. I don't have motivation to. I'll check my phone when I'm supposed to be meditating, like all of those things. So it's just interesting.
That's so interesting because you are meditating.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're telling yourself, I'm not doing it enough, but like you're also doing it through writing and taking time to write every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's totally one of the myths. We'll get into it in a second, but I feel like people get scared to meditate too because they're scared of their own like mind.
Yup.
Yeah. Where they're like, I don't know where it's going to go. Or I stay busy because when my thoughts start racing, I get anxiety and then I start catastrophizing all the things that could go wrong and so they don't slow down
Mm-hmm.
to protect themselves, you know? Which I wasn't planning on saying this, but the first time I did mushrooms, I was with a girl who was so scared of her own mind. And I didn't understand because I naturally am more in my head. And believe me, I have anxiety. But, like, I also am really creative and whimsical. And I like to, like, foresee things and think. I like to think. And she was so terrified of being in her own mind. And I remember at the end of the mushroom journey, psilocybin journey, she was like, oh my gosh, my mind is so beautiful. I've just been so scared to like be with it. And I feel like that's very similar to what it's like to meditate. It's like when you actually do it, and not just once.
It's so true.
But when you actually start to do it, just like going to the gym, and you start to see how it helps, it's like, wait, this is actually kind of cool. Oh, that's kind of cool that I like saw that in a meditation and then it came true, you know? So let's talk about the myths. Myth number 1, I have them written down. I can't because I can't stop my thoughts. Which I feel like we're already talking about it, but, and you guys jump in, because I have like so many myths to say and so many tips that I want you to jump in if like you relate with any of these.
Well,
but-
can I already
Yeah,
say
please.
something like, is it even possible to stop thought?
Exactly.
There's just different levels of consciousness,
Yeah.
right? And even when we're sleeping, and you know I'm huge on like dream work and sleep and different levels of consciousness, and even when we're sleeping, our mind is still going. So I think it's more of like not I used to think meditation was stop thinking, you know?
Yeah.
And the more I've thought about it, I realized that's just not even possible. It's just more thinking about it, reframing what that means.
Yeah. People get scared, even me included, was like, I can't meditate because my thoughts go all the time. But like, we talked about it in a previous episode about the superhighway in the brain, how it's like, my thoughts are going rapid fire all the time. What do you mean? Stop it.
Yeah.
But I always say, like, trying to stop your thoughts is like trying to tell the ocean not to have waves. Like, sometimes the waves are mellow and sometimes they're raging.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
But at the same time, like, it's the ocean.
Yeah.
It's not being so obsessed with, are there waves or are there not waves? It's observing them all together as you zoom out and just see that you have so many thoughts. Because if you're thinking during meditation, that means you're probably thinking all day long too. You're just finally sitting with yourself and
finally realizing what you're thinking,
Yes.
which is super important
You're
to
just
realize
hearing it.
what you're thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what, but
go.
that's what writing does for me. The train of thought writing. It's, you can go and say, oh my gosh, how many times have I said, I'm anxious about this one thing. I should just like get that done. Or like, how many times have I said this belief that I have that's not even real, but it's like you can actually see it on the page and like see it over and over, that thought. Another analogy that's exactly like the ocean one, which I love that ocean one, is seeing your thoughts as clouds. So it's like you're like the third person to your thoughts instead of you're inside the thought. Like you are the thought. It's like, no, your brain will always have thoughts, but you can just like observe them going by and then letting it go of your mind.
Yes.
I always talk about this book. I swear it's been 4 episodes. The Untethered Soul talks about that. And also like a ball, your thought, you can also just like drop the ball. You don't need that thought.
But sometimes we like can't even like let it go
Mm-hmm.
because we're like, how do I let it go? And the letting go, I feel like, comes from just learning to sit with it first and just see like, wow, I keep thinking this thought repetitively. Okay, there's actually something called ego taming or ego scripting. And I'm sure that you could do it with your mind too, where instead of being like, why am I thinking this? Because why? Everyone is so obsessed with why. Why am I thinking this? Or why is my brain spinning? Or why am I having this anxious thought, you know? But ego scripting or mind scripting is when you are aware of what you're thinking. And then you just start to have a conversation like, hi, ego, or hi, thoughts. I see that you're racing right now. That's okay. You give it grace. Like, I see you. Thanks for trying to protect me, but I'm telling you, like, I've got it. And you would be surprised how fast your body, your mind is like, oh, okay. It's like on Inside Out, you know, like anxiety. Like,
Yeah, I love that. And I've heard also someone say that I really liked that she said, acknowledge it and then not dismissing it in the way of like, let's go together. Because like maybe you can't even set it down yet, but let's go together. I acknowledge you. We're together and we can do this together, and almost talking to that trauma response or whatever.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm just going to say it now, the freebie for this episode is a free meditation, and it's a thank you body meditation. Yeah, we're doing it. It's not the one that we normally are doing, but I really wanted, since we're talking about meditation, to give a free meditation that's for beginners, that's all about just like, thank you, body. I know you've been trying to help me. Okay, let's walk through this together. So yeah, thanks for saying that.
Cool.
Okay, so that's myth number 1, that I can't because I can't stop my thoughts. You're not supposed to stop your thoughts. They're meant to be there. Myth number 2 is it has to be long and silent.
Yeah.
I feel like you said this one in the beginning, and I was like, oh, she's already saying one. That belief that like it has to look a certain way.
Well, because you visualize the people that are like,
yeah,
or like that, and then when they're breathing, they're like, I just have to say this. Sometimes in yoga, and people are like breathing, they're like, hey, breathe out through your mouth. They're like, and you're just like, oh, like, I don't know why that bugs me. Because I just like think of everybody's bad breath. I don't know.
yeah, because then you have to inhale next, and it's like, no.
That's funny. Anyway.
That's so funny. Okay, I have to look at my notes because there are 2 myths. I'm actually going to read 2 at a time because I feel like they're going to be the same conversation. It has to be long and silent, but then I have to be still. Like, it's the same thing, that belief of like cross-legged, with a hand mudra, eyes have to be closed, you have to be sitting, and you can't have anything under you or behind you to help you have your back straight. Like, you've got to basically be perfect.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, in a way to respect meditation and the roots of it, like, there is a lot of science behind why you sit. Your chakras are aligned, and there's so much to it. And it's not black and white.
It's not the only way.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about everything in life, is like, it depends on what you're going for. If you're wanting to focus on like having a tall spine and strengthening your spine and increasing the blood flow and aligning your chakras, then yeah, maybe sit up. It's going to be your practice. But if you're wanting to just start meditating, start meditating in whatever way works for you.
Yeah, I like how Brighton brought up, walking meditation is so good for your brain too, even for memory, for just functioning. Walking meditations are great. And then the writing, there's so many ways to meditate. So I've had some of my best downloads meditating in the traditional sense, because I wasn't falling asleep because I was sitting up, which I have fallen asleep meditating laying down. And feeling like aligned and so open. And then there's other days where that's just not happening. And so the different kinds of meditations, or even just looking at fire or looking at water, and you talk about a million ways to meditate all the time on your social channels. There's so many beautiful ways that we have to meditate and to ground. It's so cool.
I love that you're saying all those, because we're going to share all the different ways we can think of at the end of the episode to meditate. So it's literally perfect what you're saying. Yeah, go.
I do have a thought, but I'm not even sure if it's like me pushing back, or I want to hear your thought on this thought, if that makes sense. I have noticed though, in my own practice, is it almost seems like levels of difficulty. And so it's like, okay, if I'm really feeling lazy, like, no, I'm not going to do a true sit down meditation, no music, whatever. Like, I'll kind of gravitate towards more of like the beginner friendly ones. But in what Mom was saying, there is something really special for me, making myself sit in a room and having nothing to do.
Yeah.
Not even writing, not even listening to music, like truly having no stimulation, because I feel like we live in a very stimulating world. But I feel like that is definitely harder to get there. So it's almost like levels of what I can do that day. But I think there is something to be said about, hey, like, it's a good practice to teach yourself to be bored and like sit in a room and have nothing to do. What do you think about that?
Yeah, especially with AI getting faster and faster and faster. Like
Yes.
learning to sit still is a big deal. I love it. I feel like it's very similar to going to the gym. What is your capacity at the moment? Is it to go and lift weights all of a sudden? Because that would be, in my eyes, like the sitting and,
or go and walking on the treadmill for
or are
a
you
little
just
bit.
able to walk on the treadmill? Okay, maybe that's meditating alone without music, but laying down. And it's really just being self-aware of like, what do I have capacity for today? And maybe not today in the moment, like maybe trying to, I feel like it's really important to schedule it in or it doesn't happen.
Maybe it's like, what do you need? Because actually there's sometimes my body's craving movement.
Yes.
But usually I'm moving and I'm like listening to music and stuff like that. So it's almost like, oh, I'm craving movement. I've been sitting all day, but maybe let's not bring my phone. So it's like still a clearing out activity.
Well, yesterday I was even going on a walk with Ray and I was like, I had been on my phone a lot and I was like, okay, Ray's asking for a walk. Ray's the one that's like, can we go on a walk? And so I'm like, okay, let's go on a walk outside. And I wanted to turn on a podcast. And it's like, it took awareness of myself to be like, okay, I'm wanting to turn on a podcast, but I probably need to just sit with my thoughts. Yeah. Because sometimes I have the music on and a podcast going and I want to start a movie and it's because my brain is so loud that I'm trying to turn things on louder than my brain.
Yeah.
And turning them off sounds scary because it's like, then I have to sit with my brain. But
1000%.
It takes awareness to then be like, okay, I'm going to go on this walk and I'm just going to be with myself. And I did. And it was great. And it was needed, you know?
Well, it's so cool because it's being recognized in so many different areas of the world now. Even in my schooling, I took a certification that was outside of my school that was mindful sport performance enhancement. Because why I took the training is because I thought it was so cool now that there's people in the sports world and there's so much research now on meditation and visualization and all those things that they combined. And that's the point of their training. And we sat, on the Zoom call and they led us through these meditations. I have to say it was a little bit funny because you're seeing kind of these sports people that are like, now we're going to meditate. And they're kind of like, they looked they kind of felt awkward. Some of them, not everybody.
It's like taboo.
Yeah. It's because they're
so
connecting something that's like either you're a kind of yogi meditative person.
Even in the academic world.
Like, or you are sports psychology and research.
Yes. Logical or intuitive.
Or you're this. Yeah. And I love
it blends.
It's all the same. It's what we're talking about here. And it was so fun to watch them, lead different people practice leading meditation for the first time because we were being certified. And for other people to see it for the first time because maybe they had read about it in books and all the research when you're writing papers. Yeah, meditation, visualization, all these things do have so many good benefits that we've talked about. But gosh, it's not just woo-woo. And the people that, sit in that camp, I would challenge you even to go read the research on it. It's well-researched. And I know I talk about research a lot on this podcast, but
that's why you're here.
But it's so cool to tie it together.
No, it is. It's the point.
Yeah, it's so cool.
We need to be doing that.
Yeah. And the research is going to speak to a certain demographic. And I was that person.
Yeah.
I was not woo. Like, I was not woo. I was like, show me the proof, teacher. Will you pull up a study? Like, I was that person. And now I'm like considered woo, but
It's like experiencing it for yourself.
Yes.
There are things I've
Yes.
experienced for myself in meditation courses and classes we've taken, and once you experience like your intuitiveness and something happens where you're like, that wasn't even me, that was like something told me something, or I saw a visualization, whatever, okay? And you just experience that amount of stillness and intuitiveness, there's like no going back from that.
Mm-hmm. It's also like last week we talked about going to the gym and like how when you leave you feel so good. It's the same. Okay, actually, let me back up. It can be the same with meditation. But I think maybe it's one of my myths, actually. Oh, yeah, it's one of my myths. I'll jump to it. Do you have anything else to say on that last
no.
myth? Okay. Well, maybe I do. About sitting still and it looking a certain way. Like, one, it doesn't have to look a certain way at all. You can lay down. I actually had a teacher who, this guy, he used meditation to kick his alcohol addiction. So cool. And he was teaching us about meditation. And I had done several meditation trainings before this, and a lot of them were more trauma sensitive. And he like got the class ready and he's like, okay, we're gonna meditate. And I laid down and was laying there for so long that I was already starting to meditate. And then he finally said, are you gonna join us? I was like zen as zen, laying on the ground. Everyone was sitting up, and he was very rigid. Like, this is how you meditate.
Interesting.
What did you do?
You're just like,
I didn't sit
just
up.
fart?
I said, I am. I'm already meditating.
Yeah.
Why aren't you? I didn't say why aren't you, but I was thinking
yeah, it was like
it.
shocking, probably.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It was so interesting. But I mean, if you want to be like, this is how you meditate, then awesome. But like, I don't believe there's a box. I think like, because I have low back pain. Sitting up tall is hard. I have boobs. It's hard to sit up tall with a long spine for a long amount of time, and we would meditate for an hour. So you bet I'm laying down.
Yeah.
Also, like, you can sit up on a pillow or like your couch cushion, because if you raise your hips above your knees, it's you always see the guys that are like, girls too.
It's so,
Which
so true.
on the therapy yoga side, that could be emotion being stored, but on the physical side, sit up on a bolster, it will help.
Which, plug for bolsters, I look at them and I'm like, I don't need a bolster. It's one of those
they're
ego
so-
things. But then when you show me how to use them, I'm like, I love bolsters.
Yeah.
They're
It's
so
the
good.
best.
They're great.
I feel like yoga should only be done with props, unless you're really going for like Ashtanga or like something that's very traditional.
Yeah.
It makes you like be able to be in your mindfulness instead of like, I can't move, I can't breathe, you know? Okay, I want to do another one. If you don't feel peaceful after, you're doing it wrong.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Do you have that belief?
I've never thought about it, but I could see me thinking about that. Like, even if,
Like, say you meditated for a week, and at the end of the week, you're like, there's nothing different.
Interesting.
It's interesting how even something like meditation can come with shame and frustration when it's the whole point of it is to let go of those things.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I've done that. I know I've been in meditation classes before when, well, once I remember I fell asleep and I remember feeling like shame, like why did I fall asleep? I was so invested and I thought I was paying attention. And so it's almost like our body sometimes takes over for what it needs. Yeah, I've definitely finished meditations and still felt frustrated. Like I didn't work through, because sometimes when I let my mind go, the things that I'm working on or I'm frustrated with even feel stronger, like you said, because you're hearing and feeling what is already there. And so it can bring up things that we get to work on next time we meditate. Yeah.
You know what I find interesting, even with I totally get what you're saying when you're saying work on. Sometimes though, it's like I feel my most anxious meditating when I have a problem to work on.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because it's
Yeah.
like then I sit there and I'm overthinking, and then when I'm done with meditation, it's like I'm still thinking about what I'm doing with the rest of my life or whatever, you know? Like it's almost like you have the expectation of as soon as I meditate, God's gonna come down and like give me a sign. Like literally. Like I've like had that expectation where I feel like for the listener, I would say focus on the practice, but don't have expectation. Don't have an expectation to what you're going to feel if you're going to get an answer to your prayer.
Yeah.
Yes. Because that is actually, I think, sometimes why I don't. Because I'm just like, oh, you know, I should be getting all of these answers and everything's inside of me. And it's not like still don't know. But it's almost, yeah, like if you're treating it as a job, like that is literally the exact opposite of what it's supposed to be, you know? But I also get what you're saying when it comes to when you're just working on the problem, meaning like letting your idea, like letting things go and coming out, and like now you know what to work on because it has come out.
I think I don't go into, well, no, I probably do. I probably have gone into it with intention of trying to work through something, and I've also gone into
yes,
trying to be zen, and then my issues come up.
Yeah.
Like, and I've gone into it. I mean, it's different. all
I've
the
done
time.
I've done that
Yeah.
too, and it's multiple things. I think recently I've only been doing meditation to have an end goal of figuring something out. And that, at least for me, I think that's, for lack of a better word, like a problem of mine.
Well, it keeps you in your logic.
Yes.
It keeps you in the thought instead of observing the thought.
Yeah.
One thing that's cool that I love my mom used to say, because she was yogi and she taught elementary school, and I'm pretty sure she was teaching 4th grade at the time. She taught her kids. This was very unconventional.
She's the OG.
At the
She's so
time.
cool.
This was literally probably 35 years ago. Yeah. And she taught her kids how to do yoga. And at first, you know, the kids and even the principal are kind of like, what? And the principal trusted my mom and said, okay, like if you feel like this is something you want to do, I trust you. And my mom tells the coolest story about one of the moms came in for a parent-teacher conference, and the parent said, I have to tell you, my son he struggled the most in the class to regulate, to feel calm. He would kind of have just outbreaks of energy and stuff like that. And she said, I found him after he had a challenging day in his room alone in child's pose.
Oh.
And it brings tears to my eyes just thinking about it, because I think how cool that my mom trusted herself to kind of push the envelope and do something that she knew could be helpful for her kids. But then for the little boy that couldn't sit there at first, my mom said, doing any of it. And then it became a daily practice for him that he did on his own in 4th grade to help self-regulate.
Love that.
And for the mom to be able to see that, I thought it was such a cool example of doing it for the reason of I feel better.
It's self-care.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't know what to do right now, but I know that I can pause and breathe after something hard happens. Like people overcomplicate it so much. And honestly, that's my tip at the end, but I'll say it right now, like, don't make it hard. It feels taboo. Like people make it this big thing,
hard.
but like if you pray, you're already meditating. If you journal, you're already meditating. Like it doesn't have to be this, okay, I have to sit down and do it this certain way. And if it is that practice for you, beautiful, but it doesn't have to be that practice.
I have one more thought. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm talking a lot.
No, go for it.
I was actually just listening to a podcast. I've been like really interested in kind of the future and AI and like what's going to happen and all this stuff. And I feel like that is actually stressing me out, which is funny, but this is cool. This guy said, I feel like the best thing you can be doing when it comes to like economic crisis and all these things that are happening that are like stressing everyone out, the best thing you can be focusing on is finding that place within that is peaceful, because there's always a place within that will be peaceful if you can sit there long enough and find it. And no matter what's going on outside in the world with whatever complications or problems you're having, like that's the biggest tip and tool I can give, is like finding that place inside that's peaceful. And he was like a big like business dude. Like I would
So cool.
never have thought he would say something like that. And he was like, yeah, that's like my biggest tip.
That's so cool. I actually want to do it right now.
'Kay.
No matter where you are and listening to this, and you guys too, if you can close your eyes. And just find your breath. Notice the cool on the back of your throat as you breathe in. Maybe the warmth as you breathe out. Soften your shoulders. Maybe you wiggle a little bit just to get your body to relax for a second. And this is going to be real quick, less than a minute and a half. And as you breathe, I want you to imagine like you're on a treasure hunt and you're looking around your body for the place that feels the most peaceful. Do that body scan and see, is it the elbow? Is it your big toe? Where is the place that feels the absolute most peace in your body? It can even be your hair. And whenever you do find that place, I'll give you a couple more seconds. And when you find that place that feels peace, with your eyes still closed, imagine that it's radiating from that one spot and it's like a sun with sun rays spreading to your entire body. And as you focus on that spot of peace, the peace grows and it spreads all throughout your body. Take long, deep breaths as you watch the color or the feeling of peace spread over your whole body, head to toe. One more deep, full inhale and exhale as the color fills in all the last gaps. And then right before you open your eyes, let the corners of your mouth turn up just slightly in a little smile. And think to yourself, thank you. And then flutter your eyes open. You meditated.
I love that.
It's that easy. It's that easy.
I have to ask you where you felt it and what color you saw, because I just have to.
Well, as the leader of the meditation,
You weren't thinking much.
I focused on my hair right here,
Mhm.
and I imagined it being yellow. What about you?
Mine was interesting, actually. I didn't know you were going to ask that, but mine was my nose, because I realized that I never think about my nose
Mm.
or like judge my nose. It's like it's just there. I
Mm.
was like, that is interesting.
There's no logic attached to
There's
it.
no like it. I don't need it to look a certain way, like
Yeah.
it was just there. And it was white, like
Mm.
white light. Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to ask this question either till I did, but mine was my stomach, and I kind of have a headache today. I think I'm dehydrated, so it's not anything up top, but my stomach, and then I saw blue.
Cool.
Just like a calm blue.
And if you didn't see color, that's fine.
Yeah.
We all have meditated for a while, and so,
Mhm.
but you don't have to see color to be meditating. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say one more myth, and then we'll share the tips and we'll wrap it up. Actually, can you see how long we've been going?
Yeah. We're going for 40.
Okay, great. When you meditate, sometimes
Yeah.
it's harder to tell how long it's been. You know what? The last one was actually, it's only for spiritual or Zen people. I feel like we've kind of touched on it with you bringing in the research, but I'll just quickly say, like, meditation helps with anxiety. It helps with inflammation in the body. It helps with literally so many things. Even like, if you know who Joe Dispenza is, Joe Dispenza talks a lot about how you can meditate your way into healing your chronic illness, your cancer, your all sorts of things. Like, meditation has been scientifically shown to heal the body because we are way more powerful than we realize. And when we actually set an intention to start to heal, it is a law of the universe that we will start to heal, you know? Okay. Well, do you have any thoughts on that, or do you want to jump into types?
I have a quick thought.
Yeah.
Twice now I've been to your yoga retreat in Costa Rica, and both times I could feel my face healing from my Bell's palsy 2 years ago. And you asked me the question, why? And I've been thinking about that for a long time now. And I almost would attribute part of it anyway to the fact that we meditate and breathe intentionally so often that I really feel like that breath and because I hold my breath when I'm feeling tight, frustrated, stressed, I'm in a hurry, I hold my breath and I don't breathe enough. And air and water, these basic things that we need. I think that on your retreats, I intentionally breathe day after day after day. And I really think it's part of the reason I've been able to start healing my Bell's palsy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, through all my trainings, like breath, pranayama is actually the technical term. Prana is the word for breath. If it's a lowercase p, it's breath. If it's an uppercase p, it's life force. But pranayama is breath work. And breath work is so healing on a scientific level, on a emotional level, on a spiritual level, like even in the gym. Breath matters. Like when you're breathing out helps, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I'm thinking like even Andrew Huberman, who's like the most academic professor guy, super smart, like in that world. And he talks about breath work, what is it called? Studies all the time, like all the time. And
And breath is meditation. Like the second you focus on your breath, you're meditating, because all of a sudden you're present. You're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. You're focused on the breath that's right here, right now. And you can't breathe in the future and you can't breathe in the past. You can only be present if you're focused on your breath.
It's so important for, trauma healing. It's, I would say, one of the biggest things I've learned from you when I have, like with my eyesight. I know I'm taking a side line, but that's normal for me. So we'll go for a minute. But, when I get overwhelmed, and I've had a lot of doctor's appointments lately with my eyesight and just different stressors. And your voice goes through my head. You always have your breath. You always have your breath. And it really is so grounding. No matter what you're doing, where you are, nobody knows that you all of a sudden need a lifeline. And you can sit there and you can find your breath anywhere, anytime. And it's such a gift that I think is overlooked. And so I'm grateful for you for taking that journey, because I know that you've helped everybody in our family and many more beyond our family with just recognizing grounding and breath and meditation. So thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it changed my life.
Yeah.
Like it was my lifeline. And I want to second that. Like nobody knew the moments I was triggered. Maybe they did sometimes. But like nobody knows if you're all of a sudden conscious of your breath. But like it literally, when I get the bad news call, I've trained my body, and I've said this on the podcast, like I've trained my body to take a deep breath, just because I've seen how much it changes the situation. Because without breath, we're up in our sympathetic nervous system, if we want to get technical, which is our fight or flight, which keeps us up in our head and our blood away from our lower extremities, and our heart starts pumping faster, and it causes more anxiety without breath. And so the second we can breathe, it directs the energy down and it grounds us. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about all the different types of meditation people can try, and these all could literally be their own episode. Breath could be its own episode of all the different types of breath work. There's breath retention, where you focus on more holding your breath. There's breath liberation, where you focus on more letting it flow through you without restriction. Like breath is its own world, but that's one. Also, let's just start spitballing ones you can think of.
I mean, I said riding and walking. Absolutely.
I love looking up through the trees at the light that glimmers through. It was kind of a fun one I
Me
liked.
too.
Fire gazing.
Yep.
That was another
Tratika is what it's called in Sanskrit, but yeah, fire gazing.
one. Laying in water
Yes.
Water of any kind, but I actually really like laying in like flowing water. I don't do that often, but if I've ever done that,
But in Costa Rica, you
in
do.
Costa Rica, yeah.
Warm spring water. Gosh, I
Yeah.
think I'm missing Costa
I'm
Rica
like
today.
everything. I love it.
But water in general, I think is really healing.
Yes. Even taking a bath. Like that's my go-to
Yeah.
meditation
Yeah.
is I'm going and taking a bath.
Mm-hmm.
I love listening for, and you have to be in the mountains to do this, but I love listening for the waves in the trees because it sounds like the beach, but it's in the trees and it
Mhm.
slows my mind down when I
Mhm.
listen for it.
Another walking one I think is fun because it's kind of like distracting, but I feel like it's probably meditation still. Color walk. Have you ever heard like, okay, I'm just going to walk around my neighborhood and the color is yellow today. So
Oh,
I
I
see
love
a yellow
that.
leaf and then a yellow tree over there and then a yellow fire hydrant and you kind of just like, I don't know, you're just
I
more
love
present.
that.
with you guys when you were little on
Yeah.
nature walks. I don't know
Really?
if you remember,
I
but-
do remember that actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
cool. I
fun.
love that one.
Yeah.
There's another called mantras. A mantra is a mind tool. And so it's like you could repeat an affirmation of like, I am learning to love myself. I am learning to love myself. And you just sit and focus on the mind tool, the mantra,
Mm-hmm.
because the logical brain can only focus on one thing at a time. And so it's a hack. You're hacking your logic. And mantras help a lot if you struggle spinning in your head during meditation, to be like, I'm thinking
This
this
is what-
thought. I'm
yeah.
thinking this thought, because then your intuitive brain can start and your subconscious can like process.
Mm-hmm.
I love,
sorry.
go.
Tiff, your friend Tiff, we love Tiff.
We love Tiff.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tiff.
Shout out to Tiff. I interviewed her, and that's a really good episode if you guys ever know my podcast. But anyways, she talks about it was a mirror meditation where you go like head to toe, every part of your body, and you say like, I love you, elbow, I love you, stomach, I'm so grateful for you, feet, whatever. And I just
Mhm.
love that. I thought that was
Mhm.
cool.
Yes, I love that. Shout out to Tiff. I didn't get a chance. We
Shout
love
out
her.
to Tiff.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No. I know what's coming. Music. Okay.
Yeah.
Music
Oh,
for
yeah.
me is huge. And then I love when it's also with repetitive, like you said, is it Satanama
Mhm.
song?
That's a mantra.
Mantra with the music, I think is so powerful. Or, and there's other songs I've heard that are so just meditative and beautiful. Music in general. I was watching this research study. I think seems like that's all I do. But just a few days ago on music and how it resets our energy, and that's a whole other,
And the vibration of it matters.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode. But music is so powerful.
And singing.
Yes.
Singing on top of that,
Your
ohms,
vagus
but you
nerve.
can also just,
Uh-huh.
I feel like just sing a song that's so
Mhm.
like a peaceful song.
Mhm.
And humming is
humming.
really
Yeah, it's the vagus nerve. I actually
Uh-huh.
just,
Yeah.
you've said that before, but I just like relearned how awesome it is to sing, and that's how you can reset things. So that's,
Yeah, if I'm ever anxious, like real anxious, I'll hum.
Mhm.
And because it's breath work.
Yeah.
Like when you're singing and you're humming, you're having to take deep breaths to then sing or hum.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love
So
both
many
of
good
those.
ones.
I like that you said prayer. I feel like that needs to be reiterated. I think any
Mhm.
type of prayer absolutely is meditative.
Mhm.
With music, I will sometimes put on music to write because I feel like it kind of, there's like a few different modes it almost puts me in, and it kind of like brings out different thoughts
Yeah.
than it maybe would have before.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many. Like even movement. We've talked about walks, but like yoga, going to the gym,
Oh yeah.
meditation. I mean, if you're listening to a podcast and stuff, then you're probably not meditating. But if you're listening to music and just focusing on your breath and your body, you're meditating.
It's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, I've noticed that even with like cardio and stuff, there's some days that I'm like, I need to get this over with. So it's like I turn on the mind numbing thing to like get over it. But there are some days that I am doing the cardio. I've heard this thought from someone else. I can't remember who it is, but it's like I fell in love with like gym and the cardio because it has to put me in my body.
Mhm.
Because if not, there's going to be 200 pounds that crush me, or I'm going to like stop running, stop doing my cardio. So it's like, I think when you said I like almost baptism by fire in the last episode, if you guys listen to that, that's almost my way to like meditate, and why I feel like I need it, because it almost it freaking forces me to be in my body
In
or
the
else
zone.
in the zone.
People
or
always
else
say,
I'm
like,
gonna
I'm in
get
the
hurt.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's funny though. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love that we have so many different ways to try to meditate. Yeah. Even like stargazing. Like it doesn't have to be
Ooh, yeah, that's a great one.
intentional meditation. It's like when you're sitting in nature, you're meditating, you know?
1000%.
And the cool thing about stars is hopefully you can see them from anywhere. So even if you can't get
Yeah.
into nature
Or the moon.
yeah, I guess stars you can't always see, but I think sometimes I get in the trap of I have to go somewhere to feel a certain way
Yeah.
rather than I can be wherever I am and
Ooh.
pull that feeling inside
Uh-huh.
the stars or the moon or the meditation.
I like that.
Yeah. Which one last one is being aware of your senses. Like you can do that literally anywhere. You
Yeah.
can notice what you're smelling, what you're seeing, like colors and not, or not, what you're feeling on the external side of your body. Like, okay, I feel that my back is open on the shore. I can feel a cool breeze. But then also you can feel on the inside of your body a layer deeper and be like, I can feel the cold on the back of my throat when I breathe in. You know, that's all mindfulness.
Mhm.
So I guess to wrap it up, stillness or movement. Eyes open, eyes closed, in the mountains, in the trees, on your knees. It doesn't matter.
Kind of like Dr. Seuss.
Thank you.
In a good way. I love him.
I do too. It doesn't matter. It comes down to what do you want it to be, and then carving out time to do it. Just like you're gonna carve out time to go to the gym or read a book or listen to a podcast. And not in this episode, but in other episodes, the freebie has been to what do we call that sheet?
It's like the mind, body, soul checklist.
Yeah, and on that checklist, in the soul category, there are all different ways to meditate too. And those are in a lot of other episodes. So if you want to see those, I think in our previous episode was
We can
actually
put 2 links.
You know what?
Below.
Yeah, check the show notes. We'll put 2.
Free meditation and mind, body, soul checklist.
I like that. That's
Okay.
a lot easier.
And comment with what you do to meditate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love to hear it.
That's it. Until next time.
Love that.